Hi, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Thank you for coming back to this channel. We are grateful that you're watching what we are sharing. Today, I'm seated with a woman that I love and respect, um somebody I stay with when going to varsity. That time, no, it was college. That
College.
time it was still college, but now it's a university. And today we want to talk about a topic that we've recently gone through. And she shared some nuggets with me that I thought would benefit any person who is going through that same process. And so that is the reason we are having this conversation. And we hope that you will enjoy it. Also, share with us your feedback. So, we've recently gone through grief. We lost my sister, her sister in law. Um, and as we were speaking, she mentioned something that just changed my perspective towards how I was mourning from that day. And so maybe first to just introduce yourself and then we will get right into the conversation.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be watching us from. My name is Lydiah Lelo, and I'm happy to be on this with Betty, my sister-in-law, the only one now remaining because there were three. We lost one, Sarah, now Sophie has followed.
Yeah.
The only one remaining now is Betty.
And just to pick it right from there, so we lost my sister recently, and it's been a difficult period. But then, from the conversation we had, the experience you'd had before helped me a lot. And maybe let me just ask you to take us through the grief you went through and the process and how you found your healing.
Last year, late January, I lost my mom. My mom had been widowed for over 20 years. And it happened when the night she died, it just reminded me of how my late sister-in-law, it just happened like that. Because I got a phone call
Yeah.
telling me my mother's condition had changed, and from my best maid. And I told her, please try and get an ambulance. But you know, you are in the village. It's
Yeah.
at night around 10 o'clock. Where do we even get an ambulance?
Yeah.
So she told me she's trying to get someone in a Muhaya, but the vehicles are there, the drivers have gone home.
Okay.
So I asked her to call my uncle, who is a clinician. And they came. Later on, that is what my uncle was telling me.
Yeah.
Took my mom's pulse, pressure was reading 0,
Yeah.
meaning my mom had already passed on.
Oh.
So they took my mom to hospital, and he now called me. But my question, when I received a call from him,
Yeah.
I just knew something drastically had happened.
Okay.
Because first it was my best maid, Agneta,
And then
now my uncle. So I answered the phone and he starts, he calls me Mtoto. Mtoto, how are you? I said, I'm fine.
yeah.
Then he goes, they called me to go and check on my sister-in-law. I've brought him to Coptic, but the minute he just said, but,
Yeah.
I knew my mother was dead.
Yeah.
Disconnected the phone and started wailing
Yeah.
loud, like I didn't care where the country I was in.
Yes.
But I wailed and wailed and wailed. Then, of course, I was with our youngest daughter then in the house. So she came to find out from me what has happened. So I explained to her.
Yeah.
So to cut the long story short, during that period,
Yeah.
or before I traveled, I was wailing, I cried,
Yeah.
and I started praying, asking God to give me the strength.
Yeah.
Because I was saying, I don't know where to begin from.
Yes.
Because being the firstborn also, a lot is expected
And
of
people are
me.
looking up to you.
And people are looking up
For
to me
direction.
for direction. So if I don't have sense of direction, then everything will fail.
Yeah.
So I prayed to God. I prayed to God to give me the strength and the Holy Spirit to help me as well.
Okay.
The comforter to comfort me and to strengthen me.
Yeah.
And God answers prayers.
True.
Because when we went through the process, later on people were asking, even before the burial,
Yeah.
is Lydia okay?
Yeah.
Somebody should be looking after her
Checking.
and checking on her.
Yeah.
She's just there walking and looking.
Yeah.
Least did they know I was praying, asking for strength,
Yeah.
and God helped me. I was calm. So many people were wondering why I was so calm.
Yeah.
Even when we arrived at home, I did not wail, and someone came, you just need to let it out. You can
Yeah,
wail if you
yeah,
want.
yeah.
But I just sobbed and kept quiet. Even on burial day, when they were lowering the casket,
Yeah.
I didn't look. I bent my head down and I was just praying. I remained in prayer. And that's how I got my strength.
Okay.
The grieving
Yeah.
came later on, 2 months after. But anyone who saw me say, you are strong.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did it.
Yeah.
It was not me. I had asked for strength from above.
Yeah.
That's why it happened.
So you could summarize it as the power of prayer.
The power of prayer,
Yeah.
and God answers prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
As it says in the word, ask,
Okay.
ask. So I asked.
And another portion says, you have not because you ask not.
You ask not.
So the first point is to ask.
Ask. If you sit there and just expect God to do
Yeah.
miracles,
Yeah.
you need also to ask with your mouth.
Yeah.
Then let God respond. But if you just sit and say, God understands my situation, God understands my, let him do it. No.
Yeah.
He says also seek
And you shall find.
and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open to you.
But I also feel like in such circumstances, sometimes you can be so overwhelmed that you can't pray. So do you also experience that in such scenarios, also the prayers of brethren can carry you?
Yes, because as you pray, your prayer warrior somewhere
Yeah.
will also be praying with you
Yes.
and for you.
Yes.
And the pastor of your church where you belong,
Yeah.
because you are answerable to a pastor somewhere. Before I traveled,
Yeah.
they knew I was traveling. So, and then they knew the circumstances at
Yes.
which I was traveling.
Yes, yes.
So maybe at that time when I'm asleep and they are awake, they are praying for me.
Yes.
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 And that also helps.
So it's important to be accountable, and it's important to also say, because some people suffer with their problems,
Yes.
they don't share.
They don't share.
Because how will people pray for you if they don't know what you're going through?
Exactly.
So it's very important to also share, speak to someone, let them know that I'm going through ABCD,
Yes.
so that you're able to get a support system.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. I think just for anyone watching this, you can share with us your experience and also any nuggets that you might have. The topic that we are sharing about is the power of prayer and the comforting that comes from the Holy Spirit. You know, when Jesus left, he said he's left us with a helper. The helper also comforts us. So share with us your experience, and also if you find this useful, please post it to someone who is going through grief. Maybe it will just give them an idea or two on how to approach it. And also because, so what happens sometimes is that, sorry, you want to say something?
No, I wanted to say, and remember, people react to situations differently.
Exactly.
With grieving, also people grieve differently.
Yes.
There are some who would grieve immediately, and there are some who will grieve later on.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And also I think that comes with how fast we move in the different stages of grief. Like at first you're in shock,
Yes.
and then there's the stage for acceptance. So for some people, even after the burial, you're still thinking, is this real?
Denial.
Until one day you come and you don't find this person, and you're like, okay, this really happened.
I'm glad you've brought that out, because after we buried my mother, and we're now in the bedroom sorting out her things, because now we have to give away, burn some. And my young sister said, when we were doing that, she said, I never knew at one point my mother would die. And I said, wait a minute. She had to die at some point. It's just because it happened when
Yeah.
we were all not expecting it.
Yeah.
And because of that also, like you say, my sister didn't go to the morgue because she was still in denial.
Yeah.
She only viewed my mom's body after we had gone to look for the casket and had the casket delivered at the morgue.
Yeah.
That's when I said, now I'm here, let's view mom's body.
Yeah. And it's okay for people to go through those phases differently.
Differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we cannot define for people.
No.
As
No.
you said, people mourn differently.
They mourn differently.
And the most important thing is those around them to support them.
The support.
Like now you said, let's view together. You are supporting her to go through that process
Yes,
of
yes.
acceptance and all those things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. And we hope that this has been impactful for you, and that you're able to use this information. We are not wishing anyone death. It's such a painful thing. It's death is the worst thing that can happen to anyone. But in case, then you have information that you can use. And we hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. So thank you once again for joining us. And that's a wrap for today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.